Welcome to the GoalZero Toolbox Talk series. Today's Toolbox Talk: Back Injury Prevention 2. Back injuries are some of the most prevalent and hardest to prevent injuries on the job. According to the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics, more than 1 million workers suffer back injuries each year, and back injuries account for 1 of every 5 workplace injuries or illnesses. Back injuries accounted for more workers' compensation claims than injuries to any other body part. In 1990, for example, workers' compensation boards across Canada paid lost time benefits to workers for 164,000 back injuries. These types of injuries account for a large majority of workers' compensation claims every year. Back injuries often occur when an individual is lifting an object, using improper lifting techniques, such as lifting with the back and not the legs, lifting an object that is too heavy for the individual, twisting while lifting or carrying objects, repetitive lifting during a work task. Ways to prevent back injuries. Elimination. The best way to protect individuals against back injuries is to eliminate as many lifts as possible during the workday. Using equipment such as forklifts, heavy equipment, dollies, etc., is the best way to eliminate handling and lifting objects by hand. Break down large or heavy objects that pose a hazard when lifting into smaller, safer loads when possible. Engineering controls. Set up work areas that are ergonomically friendly to all employees. Install mechanical lifting devices and conveyor belts where feasible to limit handling objects. Install proper shelving and set up storage areas that keep objects and lifts within an optimal range. Keeping objects within the proper range helps keep employees from making awkward or dangerous lifts that can result in a sprain. Administrative controls. Use the buddy system when lifting any awkward or heavy objects. Agree on weight limits for lifting. For example, having a policy to not lift anything over 100 pounds as a team without first involving a supervisor to see if there is a safer way to complete the lift is an example of administrative control. Also, always select employees who are physically capable of making the lifts of a task before the work begins. Personal protective equipment. Back supports or back belts are not overly effective in preventing back injuries. These devices often create a false sense of security when completing lifts. Individuals should focus on stretching and using proper lifting techniques over using a back belt to keep them safe. Training. Workers should be educated that muscles, tendons and ligaments are not prepared to meet the physical stress of handling tasks when they are not warmed up. Pulls, tears or cramps are more likely when stretched or contracted suddenly under such conditions. These injuries can lead to more serious and permanent injury if physically stressful work is continued. Warming up and mental readiness for physically demanding tasks are important for any kind of material handling, but particularly for occasional tasks where the worker is not accustomed to handling loads.